So I just got this thing in from eBay. This is one of the Crestwood House Monster series. And these kind of books were kind of my gateway into horror as a kid. As a little kid, I really just couldn't handle very intense horror movies. I know there's some kids who grew up like watching like Freddy and Jason when they were 3 years old or whatever, but I just was not ready for that kind of stuff at the time. And the Universal monsters were kind of like the safe zone for me. Like, they were horror movies, but they weren't like that scary. And I'm sure them being in black and white probably kind of helped me not be as afraid of them. And my library growing up had a good selection of these Crestwood House books. Most of them were written by Ian Thorne, but this one I actually don't remember as a kid. This is like 2 different authors that are not Ian Thorne, but I've kind of built myself out a little collection here of them. We'll throw that back on the shelf. I've kind of been working towards, I think I'm missing 4 right now, and there's some that if I have the opportunity to replace them, just to get a better condition book, I will. Because the one that I have the most nostalgia for is the one, I bought a lot of these in a lot, that was kind of subpar quality, but the Godzilla one here, I do want them all hardcover. There are paperback versions, but the ones I had at the library as a kid were hardcover, so that's what I'm shooting for. But you can see this Godzilla one is very jacked up. It's been taped back together. It's readable, but it's just in rough shape. It's got a rip here on the front cover and just all jacked up. But that's definitely one I would replace. That one goes up relatively often, it seems, on eBay, so it's a possibility. I just haven't found one for a price I want to pay. Creature from the Black Lagoon here is also in very rough shape. I don't know if I've ever seen this one go up on its own. Granted, I haven't been searching super hardcore until the last few months, but this one I think is a bit rarer, so I'm happy to have it in any condition. Another one I didn't really grow up with. So the ones that I know, like I read constantly as a kid, Dracula, Frankenstein for sure, Godzilla, and King Kong here. But yeah, that's kind of, and I have it, of course, next to some Goosebumps and Ghost of Fear Street books that I picked up at a used bookshop. And for me, this was like childhood horror introduction. I mean, I think a lot of people my age, Goosebumps was a big thing. I think I mentioned a few years ago, I went at Dragon Con, there was a panel with the artist who did a lot of the Goosebumps covers, and I was more surprised than I should have been to realize that, like, everyone in the crowd was roughly my age and a horror nerd now. But yeah, really no point outside of just doing something a bit different from an unboxing, but I did want to just kind of highlight these books because they were a big part of my childhood, a big part of why I am obsessed with horror now, and I think that's worth getting a highlight in one of these videos. So I believe from here what I'm missing is the Wolfman, Frankenstein versus the Wolfman. I'm going to cheat and let King Kong tell me what I'm missing. Invisible Man, and Murders in the Rue Morgue. So I'm pretty close to having all the ones, at least in this series. I think there was a second series that was like purple covered. That was actually more like the story of the movies, which actually it looks like the Phantom one here is kind of, it's like the 40s Phantom and it just tells the story. So I don't know if this was like the prototype or whatever. The other ones usually seem to tell the story of like the franchise. And I'm wondering if maybe Frankenstein versus the Wolfman might be similar to the Phantom in that respect, since it is a single movie title. Or if it's maybe just all like the Monster Mash kind of movies from the 40s and whatever. But I guess I'll find out when I eventually track that one down. And I guess if anybody's interested in the rest of this bookshelf, I have the Guillermo del Toro At Home with Monsters, which I haven't really read, but the photos in it are amazing, and I eventually will get to actually reading it. Friday the 13th Prop Museum. If you're looking for great reference photos of Friday the 13th stuff, this book is amazing, and it's just super cool. Dick Smith's Do-It-Yourself Monster Makeup Handbook, Monsters in the Movies, John Landis's book, the Alien Colonial Marine Technical Manual. I thought this would be cool. I love, like, in-universe kind of things like that. I always think those are interesting. This is the driest book I've ever read in my life. I tried to read it like cover to cover, and it was so boring. I just could not get through it. You know, if you're planning to do some kind of like role-playing thing, like a D&D based on aliens or something, I'm sure it's a great resource. And I mean, it does feel like it would be in universe in how it's written, but geez, it's boring. A bunch of King Kong stuff. I was at one point trying to do like a mini documentary on the King Kong movies, and I bought a lot of stuff that was like behind the scenes, and I just never really manifested that project. A bunch of Godzilla stuff going in here, including the official Godzilla Compendium, which is like another book, not really horror, but childhood Bible there for Godzilla films. And I really wish they would do like an updated version. And it's Godzilla DNA, another one. It's all in Japanese, so I can't actually read most of it without like Google Translate. But photos in here are amazing. Like it just has great behind the scenes photos, like the props and stuff. And another really cool one here is it's an Ultraman guide. Once again, all in Japanese, but it has like some really cool breakdowns of like the different episodes and the monsters and stuff. And I don't know, this was really cool when I was going back through the original series and watching all the episodes. Like it was kind of a cool guide to have, even if I couldn't read it, just to get some background, like still images of the monsters to kind of get a better idea, see the names a little easier and things like that. And then I just picked this up recently, The Lady from the Black Lagoon. It's about the creation of the Gilman suit. So I'm probably going to read that next, I think. Not really as much horror-related stuff up here, but a couple notable ones. I do have Bruce Campbell, Robert Englund, and Kane Hodder's biographies here, which were all pretty enjoyable. I think Kane Hodder's was the best. Robert Englund's was probably the least enjoyable of the three, but they were decent. Another Ultraman or Godzilla one is Eiji Tsuburaya, Master of Monsters. Really cool kind of biography on the guy. If you like old school Godzilla and Ultraman, it was definitely a good read. And Let There Be Gwar is like just so full of Gwar everything, like just tons of photos and stuff of the band over the years and everything. It goes up, I think, right about until where Blothar joined the band, so after Brocky's death. But it was a really cool read for me, being a mega fan of the band. And then a bunch of heavy metal stuff over here. All right, boys and girls, it's that time again. For the third year in a row, I got Cavity Colors Spook Bag. These are a limited release bag they put out every year. I have gotten it the 3 years that I've tried to get it, so I've been lucky in that respect because I know they go quick. But basically, you get a bag full of stuff that you have no clue what you're getting outside of the t-shirt that you get to see the design of ahead of time. And in past years, it's been everything from like pins and patches and always tons of candy in there, and even some little like costume pieces in there as well. So yeah, like I said, outside of the shirt, I have no clue what I'm getting. So let's dig in. Okay, so first up, we do have the shirt. We do have a little Cavity Colors Monster Club sticker stuck in there. And here we go. I think last year they did a Goosebumps inspired one. So this one's more just like a standard like 70s horror novel base. I don't think it's based on anything specific. We got a Cavity Colors novel, Mischief Night, and then we have a rotting pumpkin zombie thing coming up out of the ground. Some spiders down there. And then The Night Before Halloween Could Be Your Last. Really cool looking. Oh, actually, there's a zombie head inside the pumpkin. Love it. I love their designs, and this one is no exception. All right, so I'm assuming this is a candle. I think I got a candle the first year I did this. Let's pop this open. Oh, cool. I like the color of it. Kind of has like a cinnamon, maybe cinnamon apple or something scent to it. Got some Skittles. Exclusive socks. Okay, that's kind of cool. So candy corn and more rotting pumpkin. That's pretty neat. I like it. A Cavity Colors cup. Oh, it's got Tarman on it. That's pretty sweet. Okay, I like that a lot. Sensing a rotting pumpkin and neon green theme going on this year. Sam's Rules of Halloween sticker pack. All right, I'm not even gonna wait. I'm gonna pop this open right now. So we've got wear a costume, but we got a crossover between Trick or Treat with Halloween 3, pass out treats, and never blow out a jack-o'-lantern. Oh, and always check your candy. Nice. I love this one. This one especially, just the crossover of two movies I love. That alone is awesome. Some more Skittles, some Lifesaver gummies. I'm gonna stop talking about repeat candy because remember last year I kind of felt like I was just doing that a lot. Hey, back on theme, we got another air freshener, pumpkin guts air freshener. Does it smell like pumpkin guts? That would be kind of cool if it does. This is badass looking. I like that. It's appropriate, right? Face mask. They kicked it up this year. Like in the past, I mean, last year I felt like it was maybe not lackluster, but like it wasn't a ton of stuff that I was super excited about. This one so far is knocking it out of the park. I say that as I pull out something that I did get last year as well, the Earth giving the middle finger sticker. Wait, is it Candyman lip balm? Be my victim lip balm. Okay. That's pretty funny. Smarties, Scooby-Doo candy sticks, big ass Tootsie Roll. We get a bookmark featuring the art that's on the shirt, which is awesome. More repeated candy. like an eyeball jawbreaker here. I think we're getting down to the end of it here. Some Laffy Taffy, more Skittles, some Starburst, and that is it. But hey, that was a hell of a haul. Okay, so minus the shirt, because obviously it wasn't going to fit in frame with everything else. This is freaking awesome. So all that up top is candy. You know, I mean, you saw everything as I was unboxing it. Really solid this year. I really dig what came out of this bag. I mean, the bag itself looks awesome. I love the art on there. More rotting pumpkin. Yeah, no, I'm really excited about this. You know, normal years, I love that Cavity Colors offers this because it is like an opportunity to do some like not quite trick-or-treating, but it's the same kind of feeling of trick-or-treating a bit as an adult. You get some cool stuff, some candy, some merch, whatever. But like this year especially, where Halloween is a little limited, I love that they really went all out with it. And I'm super excited with what I got. Alright, so we got a double unboxing today. So this first one is from, I guess, Evergood merch. So we've got a really cool shirt here. Got a bunch of random horror stuff. So we got the pumpkin from Halloween 3. We got Ghostface, the Monster Squad, the book from Hocus Pocus, Beetlejuice, and the Haunted Mask. All kind of built into like various TVs and stuff. I thought this was really cool. So yeah, excited to get this. I missed it, but they actually had it as a sticker in there as well, so that's great. I was gonna say, it's weird to get a t-shirt and not have like random bits of candy or other paraphernalia thrown in there, but nope, we're keeping the trend going. And then this one is a box where I'm gonna sell half the contents of it probably, but that's okay. It came as a set. It makes sense that it was a set, but I only need half. Okay, so we'll take a look first at the one I don't need. And no, it's not Fat Hitler. I don't even know the guy's name. Like, I know it's Laurel and Hardy, and I know this is Hardy, but I don't know what his actual like full name is. Like, I know the other one's like Stan Laurel or something like that, but yeah, I don't know his full name. But this is an old Caesar mask from the 70s, and that is important when we get to his counterpart here. So that's the Laurel mask, I believe. I'm pretty sure I'm getting that right. But this is the mask, as far as I remember, it may be like a year or so off, that was used in New Year's Evil. I believe the movie, if I remember correct, colored the hair, like they painted the hair black. So that's probably what's going to have to happen to this. I love New Year's Evil. I'm going to get this on a mannequin head so that it can look a little better. I had to buy it as a 2-pack. That's how it was selling, but it went for a really good price, and I really wanted this mask. There we go. Not quite perfect, but a little better now that it's on a head. I'm excited to have this thing. Like I said, I love that movie. Just looking at this gets that stupid Shadow song stuck in my head. Yeah, it's a very tiny mask, too. I don't know if it's vinyl. I feel like I heard Caesar masks, or Cesar, or however you pronounce it, are mostly vinyl, but I could be very wrong about that. I'm not super knowledgeable when it comes to that kind of stuff. I do know this had no, like, slit up the back like you'd see in a standard mask. Of course, this is a pretty old mask, so I don't know if that's something that came along later, but it's cool looking. It's definitely sinister. Like, this is supposed to be like a comedic figure, right? Like, he's supposed to be a comedian, and they just made a very creepy looking mask to represent him. Alright, looks like it's totally in silhouette right now, but the Cavity Colors air freshener actually smells like sour candy, not rotting pumpkins. So, yesterday I ended up closing out the week by going down to Orlando to do a couple Halloween-related activities, I guess. My friend had actually commissioned Rob, the guy who did, like, a lot of my tattoos and stuff, who's also a mask maker, rehauler, all that kind of stuff, to rehaul his Trick or Treat Studios Halloween 2018 mask. So that was kind of the impetus for the whole trip, was to go and pick up that mask, because he's putting it on a mannequin for some party he's having today. So he wanted to get that as quickly as he could. Thing looks amazing. I'm going to try to see if he'll give me some pictures of it, because I forgot to take any video of it yesterday, but the thing looks phenomenal. So then we did something that I'm not really sure why we bothered, but we went to Spirit Halloween, and it was a Spirit Halloween. My friend had wanted to go. I'm not really sure what he was expecting to find that we couldn't find here, but it's a Spirit Halloween. Everything's the same. This one actually was kind of lackluster, like even compared to a normal one. But then we went to a really cool place, Mortem Manor. This is I believe, a year-round haunted house. And we didn't actually do the haunt part of it. I was considering doing it because I don't think it was very expensive to go through, but my thought process was, if it's a year-round haunt, as much as I want to do Halloween stuff this month, I may actually have more fun going and doing the haunt in like December when everything's in Christmas mode to just get a little bit of Halloween some other point in the year. So I held off on doing the haunt itself, but they have a store next to the haunt that just carries a ton of cool stuff. They had, I think, stuff from Creepy Company, Cavity Colors, a ton of Trick or Treat Studios stuff. It was just, I mean, it wasn't a very large shop, but it was just packed full of awesome horror stuff.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
And I'll keep yours up here for you.
So I picked up this Creature from the Black Lagoon kind of candy bucket thing. I think it's by Super 7. And yeah, I just thought it was really cool looking. Of course, I'm a sucker for creature stuff. And then I gotta find the other ones, but I threw the park map from Silver Springs, which is where they filmed part of the sequel, in the top there. I don't know. I'll figure something else cool to do with this, but for right now, I thought this was neat. And then I picked up the Creature from the Black Lagoon and Wolfman masks. These are like fresh out of the bag, so I haven't really had a chance to mess with them much. I mean, Creature is just kind of what it is, but Wolfman, I haven't touched his hair or anything yet, so I'll have to play with that a little bit here, but I think they both look really good. The Wolfman, there's some nice detail on it. I think once the hair is all sticking out in different directions, it'll look good. Creature, I really like. I mean, it's huge. The back is like Velcro pieces, so you can like tie down the spine piece. I am still considering maybe trying to find somebody to buy a second one of these and rehaul it to be the decayed one that I saw at Mopop like last year. I'll try to throw a photo in here if I have one handy, but it was just like, I think it's supposed to be one of the original masks, and it was just really rotting and gross looking. And I've seen a lot of people do like Michael Myers, and they do what the Michael Myers mask looks like now as a replica. So I think it'd be kind of cool to have the Gill-Man in its current rotten state as a mask. I don't know. But yeah, so like right now that's my 4 Universal ones right there, and I think they all look really good. Like, I'm really excited about these. They had a lot of other cool stuff, a lot of other things that were very tempting, but I limited my selections to just those items for at least this trip. I'm kind of lucky because they had the Part 1 Trick or Treat Studios Freddy glove, and if they had the Part 4 glove there, I probably would have walked out with that because that has been tempting me lately, but thankfully for my wallet, they did not have that hanging around. And then we went to a haunt that I wanted to hit this year because I'm hoping we never need to have it again, and that sounds like I'm being negative about the haunt itself, but it's really just what it is. The haunt was called Stream and Scream. The name doesn't make a lot of sense to me based on what it actually is, but it is a drive-through haunted house. So you actually, drive your car down this path and scare actors are there. There's certain parts where you'll stop, you'll kind of see a scene, and then continue on, that kind of stuff. And the reason I say I hope we don't ever have to deal with it again is obviously I hope the necessity for a drive-through, socially distanced haunted house isn't going to exist next year or any other year. Fingers crossed, but who knows? This could be the new norm. But I think they did a really good job with it. It was kind of out in the middle of nowhere. Like, getting there, everything we really did was in the Kissimmee area near Orlando, so really kind of like past Orlando proper, or further west than Orlando proper. And we were kind of just bouncing around the different spots, so it wasn't really like super obvious that we were so far out in the middle of nowhere, but driving home it was obvious we were far away from everything else. But the last like stretch of road too, you're just going down and it's just, if there's no other cars, it's just pitch black. It was pretty creepy. It's all very rural roads and just nothing around you for quite a bit. We got there, I think, about half an hour or so after they opened up for the night. I have heard that there are some long lines that have been happening there. And when we got there, we were able to go into the actual area that they have, their parking lot area, and wait in line there. But when we were leaving, the line was going back down that road that had been so deserted earlier. So it was a bit of a wait, but you're in your car sitting there listening to music and shit, so it wasn't a bad wait. It wasn't uncomfortable at all. And then once you get up to the main area, even the briefing they give you is kind of in character. They're dressed as attendants. They have wands to wave you through and everything, but they immediately start calling you like victims and things like that. So they're trying to set the mood. There's a radio frequency they tell you to tune into, so you get this kind of just eerie background music to go with it. And then you can film it as long as you're not driving. So I gave my friend my phone to film on, and I also used the GoPro on the front windshield. So hopefully I'll have at least some decent footage of this thing. And I'm gonna just save the footage for the end here, and I'm gonna edit out the bits in between. Basically, you move forward, and then there'd be a stoplight, basically, a red or green light, and you would just go into that spot and stop, and the scene would play out. But there were areas where you were kind of in limbo between them. So it wasn't like everything was moving at a steady pace because of the way they do the ending of the house, which we'll get to in a minute. So it creates some areas where we're kind of backed up a bit. So I'm going to cut those bits out unless there was something of interest. But just keep in mind, there are like little like laggy bits in between that we're going to skip over in the video. But it was cool. Basically, the idea is that there was like a cult at this old drive-in theater, and they're slowly like slaughtering this group of cheerleaders and their boyfriends. And like at first you kind of alternate between like cultists and cheerleaders, and then like some of the cheerleaders seem a bit deranged as you go through. I think it was all supposed to be one certain cheerleader, or it was cultists that stole their uniforms. I wasn't entirely certain about that watching it. And then like you see them basically being cannibals and crazy and all kinds of cool stuff. And then at the end they kind of get all the cars together, and they send you 4 cars at a time to witness the final sacrifice of the thing, and then you're able to leave. Which, to get to the final sacrifice, you're going on like this other road that goes out, and they lit the trees with like their big overhanging trees and stuff above you, and they lit them in like blues and reds, and it really reminded me of like a creep show kind of thing. I was very enamored with how that looked. And that was basically the thing. It wasn't, I think it was maybe about 15 minutes or so start to finish. It's not really a super long house, especially if you're waiting a long while, so I could see why some people might be a little annoyed by that. But I think for what it was, for the limitations of having to drive through it, it was really cool. I think they did a really good job with what they were given to work with. So that's neat. A couple other things to point out, I guess, would be no masks are required if your windows are closed. If your windows are open, you need to wear a mask. And I think the actors all have like microphones and speakers that allow their voices to be projected. But to be quite honest, with the windows closed, it was really hard to understand what a lot of them were saying. So I ended up rolling the windows down so that we could get a little better sense of what was going on with the story and all that. You also are limited to like 3 miles an hour going through. I think like one of the first stops, one of the scare actors was yelling at me for driving too fast, and I honestly am not sure if he was in character or out of character. Unintentionally, like when I started going, I was doing like 4 miles an hour, and it's not like I was like speeding through the things. I don't know if that was supposed to be part of the show or if he just really thought I was going faster than I was or what. But yeah, that was a thing. And then once it's done, you can either just leave, or there's a parking lot and they have some other stuff. They have like a little restaurant, and I think the main thing, the place is actually called Boggy Creek, so I was looking for Bigfoot out there. But they do like airboat tours. If I remember right, the reason like I didn't even consider the airboat tours, I think they were relatively expensive. But I did get to see one of them kind of going out while I was waiting to get into the haunt, and it did look kind of cool. Like I'm kind of a little disappointed that I didn't do it because they were like flying around on the water like with the searchlight going out. So I don't know if it was just like the beginning of Hatchet or it could have been really lame. I'm not sure, but I realized it probably could have been a fun thing to do. But overall, I thought it was a good experience. I had fun with it. If they do it again next year, I'd be tempted to go. I hope maybe if like we have like a vaccine and crap by next year and stuff could be a little more normal, maybe it would be more like a haunted hayride through this whole thing instead of being go in your own car or something to that effect. But like doing it in your own car didn't add anything to it. It was more just a means to an end. No part of it was enhanced by the fact that you were driving. It was hindered by the fact that you were driving. So I do wonder if there was like a way you could do it where the fact that you're driving makes it cooler. I'm not sure. I don't know how you'd pull that off, but it would be neat if that was something somebody figured out.
It's probably what it was originally. Oh, it doesn't, but yeah, do it. Or down. Damn.
But yeah, so I'm going to stop talking and I will show you the footage from last night, and that will end out this week's vlog, and I will see you in the next one for Halloween week. Later.
You're good to go. Good luck. You'll need it.
What do they got in there? King Kong?
Hey! Have you seen my boyfriend Brad anywhere? Really tall, really cute. Oh, he came out here with all of our friends tonight. And he's pretty cool. Numbers separated all of us. I haven't seen him in hours. Please, you have to go and find help, okay? We're not alone out here in these woods. I am way too young and pretty to die. Please, please find help!
You! Slow down! Hello there! You're all getting up on the cutting room floor, yes? Just like my friend Brad. Don't look at that. Poor Brad. And poor you. Oh, you know the director may get the final edit, but I always get the cut. Yes. Oh, it's gonna be perfect. Right on your way to see the dark one, yes? You are now. Get out. It's gonna be like Rocky Horror, but I'm like, sure, your death is really rocky. Now slow down! Way too fast!
Why do I feel this would be more epic without the frickin' masks?
Don't believe what Brittany tells you. She's always exaggerating. Brad's fine. He's exactly where I left him. Don't worry about a thing. And if you see my other real friends out here, tell them Kelly sent you. We'll take care of you as well.
I'm sure if something happens, they gotta kill time. Ba-dum.
Probably not gonna use the whole thing. But it's not.
Well, the close-ups I really want to get.
Oh, we're in Fargo.
Hey, you betcha.
Did that shoot water?
Yes, I hope so. I was just thinking, I was like, I wonder if this shoots anything.
I was like, it's not a gore show.
Okay, which way is the dock? Thank you.
Listen to me, it's not too late for you. You can still get out and save yourself. Do not listen to them. Please, listen. It's okay. I'll get you away from the crazies, okay? I'm gonna point you in the safest direction possible.
That's what this one. Shack bar.
And don't worry about her. She'll be fine. I'll take good care of her. I know it's a lot of responsibility, but if it happens, her blood is on my hands. How about in the snack bar? Hello, sacrifices. Welcome to the snack bar. You look very hungry today. Could I maybe interest you in some popcorn? We've got 2 delicious flavors. We've got head and foot over there. Any takers? Only cost an arm and a leg. I'll let you decide who's. If I were you, I'd upgrade to the combo. It's a very special drink you make here. It's so good you'll lose your mind. It only takes a couple of sips. But I don't want to keep you waiting here. You've got a sacrifice to get to. Enjoy.
Well. Damn. Whoa.
What are you guys still doing here? You have to get out of here now. Kelly planned this whole thing. She wants to join in and we're the price she has to pay. You guys have to go now. Because when I find her, and I will, she's gonna be just like him.
I'm gonna beat the holy fuckity fuck out of you.
Y'all better dump the fuck out and cheer me up since you got here.
Don't try to fall. We still have plenty of tickets to tonight's sacrifice. It's gonna be a good one. Can I offer you some tickets? We can do die one, get one free. That means one of you has to die though. Who's it gonna be? Oh, you're offering yourself up? That's really sad. I get you though. I mean, who am I to judge? I ain't doing the cult and everything. I'm a little wacko myself. Alright, we'll see you very soon. Enjoy the rest of your night. Bye.
Ah. I guess it's over for one good scare.
For this next part, we send you in a group of 4. There are no stoplights, so we ask you to keep up with the car ahead of you.
Okay.
And that is going in and coming out. Thank you.
Hey, Freddy. Let's go.
Your master's upside down.
Yeah, probably.
Potty tongue.
Oh, that's cool.
I agree. Oh man, it's a creep show. Oh, it looks so cool. has good taste in music now.
Tonight, you get the rare privilege of being a part of one of our rituals. This is Patrick. He has volunteered to be our offering. No! No! Don't let them do this to me! Please! You have to save me! That will be enough of that. Presenting us this offering tonight is a new recruit, Kelly. And what a fine job you did, Kelly.
Why, thank you. They never even suspected me.
Kelly, would you like to do the honors?
It would be my pleasure.
Senglui, Miglunov, Cthulhu, Relia. The offering has been most satisfactory. The rest of you get to leave with your lives. Go! Now!
Catch you later. Bye-bye, sacrifices.
Trees look so cool.
Sadly.
You want to go in our quad?
Sure.
No.
Sure.
You got to the chainsaw.
I know, but you didn't do it.